I live on an island, very much like you guys. However, my island is a bit different. Actually, it's totally the opposite. There are no coastal barriers set by the seaside. Actually, all the barriers are in my mind and are defined by my habits. My island is London, and this is what it looks like. Now, this may seem a bit funny in the very beginning, but when you consider actually the habits of living on the Guernsey Island and living in London, it's actually the same. So this is what an average day on the Guernsey Island may look like. You may go to the airport, which is about 3.8 miles away. This could be the place where you live. That's your workplace. You might want to go to France, so you take a ferry. The funny thing is that to escape the island, you need to either take a plane or you need to take a ferry. It's the same here. So this is my island. That's the place where I live. That's my office. That's my favorite restaurant with awesome burgers. This is where I meet my investors, and that's where I go clubbing. 4 square miles every day, 7 days a week. If I want to go out, I need to either take a train or a plane. Now, I can live without a car on my island. So how come there's more than 80,000 cars on this island with 60,000 people population? I think it all goes back to the revolution that we experienced about 100 years ago, where Henry Ford launched the Ford T, which is a great invention, by the way, but we need to consider a couple of things. First of all, it took place in the United States, and the United States are different. Don't get me wrong, cars are great, but the population of European Union about now is 500 million people. United States, 300. The area of United States is much greater than the area of European Union, which means that the density of people living in this area in Europe is much greater. And the question is, do we really need cars in Europe? They're very useful to use in the United States because the distances are greater, but maybe not in Europe. And these are the problems that are side effects of using cars in Europe, is the congestion and pollution. Now, the transportation modes, personal transportation means, have developed a little bit over the past 100 years. There are even some cars right now that pretend to be the urban vehicles. However, many people say that the next big thing could be the electric car. Now, it could be, but I don't believe this is the future. This is part of the future, and definitely this is not the next step. We need to remember that technologies that change societies and change the world are usually mainstream technologies. They need to be adaptable by everyone, for example, in this room. Now, how easy is it to get an electric car right now and change your lifestyle completely? Probably not very easy. This is why I believe, while designing a new product, we need to consider one thing. Let's say we're looking for personal transportation means that will change the way we commute. So we have 2 products. Product A, that the customer is unfamiliar with, that solves the problem and 100% is the best thing you can get. However, it looks bizarre and you're just not familiar with it. And the product B, which you're familiar with, but it solves the problem only 50%. And the history shows that usually the products that make the biggest changes, the incremental changes, changes that actually stick, are the B category products. Why? Because it's easier to adopt, and they usually apply to the masses. Now, product A could be, for example, a Segway, which is a great product, by the way, but it just looks odd. And product B could be, for example, a bicycle. Everyone is familiar with a bicycle. Now, I believe that we need a product C in the middle to be able to bridge the gap from the point where we are right now to the electric car. We need to make people comfortable with electric vehicles. So we need something on the way that will be very easy to adopt, hassle-free to implement in your lifestyle, fairly cheap, that will make you feel that electric vehicles is a good option, and then maybe one day you'll think of getting an electric car. So it also has to be hassle-free, as I mentioned before. The adoption has to be absolutely easy, and not only the product itself, but also the whole experience around the product. Now, we have followed this path. We've been following it for the past 3 years, and we came up with a product that we believe solves the problem. The funny thing is that we had no intention of designing a bicycle in the very beginning, and this is what we've designed. The product that we've designed is called Jive. It's the first in the world electric, folding, chainless, and compatible with smart devices bicycle. First of all, it's engineered beautiful. It looks beautiful, which attracts people to the product. Secondly, it folds in 4 simple and very ergonomic moves into a package that can be easily wheeled or fitted under a desk. It's chainless, which means no mud, no grease on your clothes. It's electric, which means no sweat. You go into your office, you don't want to get sweaty, just turn on the electric motor. You're going back, you like to get some exercise, you turn it off. It's up to you. And also we have an intelligent dashboard, which means that the bicycle connects with your smartphone that is attached to the handlebar. And the app, allowing you to navigate the bike and monitor all the processes within the bike. It's not only about the product, it is also about the whole hassle-free experience, as I said. Therefore, we're introducing something called Jive Care, which is 48 hours free of charge warranty service at your place. Anything happens to your product, we get into the car, we go to your place, we fix it for you. We cannot fix it, you get a new product. Now, this is hassle-free, and we believe that this way we can bridge the gap. We can make people believe that getting an electric vehicle is actually hassle-free, and it's simple. Now, how does it relate to Guernsey? As I said before in this presentation, I believe that Guernsey is very much like any other city around the world. Cities are organized like small islands. So basically, if we can make it here, we can make it anywhere. There is a couple of million people living in London. They all have their own islands. They don't need cars. In many cases, they don't use cars. They're looking for a solution, like, for example, Jive. Now, why does Jive bike fit Guernsey Island? It's very simple. You have here very good proactive community. It is a little bit hilly. And also, if something works here, as I said, could be implemented in the next cities around the world. So, what if we decided to make Fridays on the Guernsey Island the Bike Fridays? What if a third of the cars on the island were replaced by bicycles? What if we could make the Guernsey Island the transportation model that we could adopt around the world? Thank you.